Okay, welcome back everybody. Today we're going to continue what we done last time, and just to recap, last time we prepared all the data flow for the player to be able to die and be okay with it, so Daydream doesn't complain, and then we kind of built for the device. Now, a little update on that before we go into what we're going to do today, that was a mouthful, is that as expected, Daydream defaults to gamma, so we're gonna have to change that. Alright, so what we're going to do today is actually add the Windlands part of the Daedalus slash Windlands clone slash, inspired thing. It's actually very much inspired because I've been thinking about another thing, which is the actual game, right? So there's already 3 conversations open, so let's actually close them one at a time. First of all, let's go into the player settings. Oh, not like that. Not like that at all. Not like this either. Damn. Okay. Can I Control Z? No. Wait. Layout. Default. Okay. Right. We're back. Back alive. Okay. Buckle up, because we're going to go into the player settings and change some stuff. Also, I don't have my headphones because I lost them. I lost them in York while going to a pitching dry run with the free games, and I forgot my headphones there. So I've got the microphone here. Hopefully that wasn't too bad. So player set notch. I don't know what's wrong with my mouse. Like it's the usual setting of DPI, but it kind of like it doesn't work too well. So where would it be? Resolution and presentation. I thought it would be here. Well, fair enough. Other settings, color space. Is it not here? Hang on a second. Publishing settings, it's not that, although that will be changed. Right, well then, has to be into the graphics settings. Quality. Let's go into graphics. It was quality, wasn't it? Damn. I'm feeling like I'm triggering a lot of people. Okay, you know what? It doesn't matter too much, because what we can do is we can get into the camera, the player camera that we have in our prefabs, and set the color space there. Graphics settings, that's the rendering path. Wait, where's the color space? Oh my god. Not many people are gonna be looking to this, but I feel like I'm gonna be triggering a lot of them. Quality. I'm not even doing this on purpose. I just haven't changed the color space in a long time. And I thought it was in player. Right, let's go here. Right, it's definitely no icon. Resolution and presentation should be. Oh no! What is going on? Aspect ratio, orientation, showing indicator. Splash image is definitely not that. Other settings. Color space, there you go, gamma. I was there already. Good stuff. So the game of course doesn't show anything. Let's put it back here. Okay, we're in gamma color space. And also I want to have our light window, lighting window open here. There we go, that's generate lighting. We've done that last time. Okay, so that's the first thing. The second thing is adding the Windlands mechanic. I'm gonna be using the workflow relatively that we've used with Project Swing and now we're using with Dr. Dad, which consists of adding a grappable tag to objects that can be grappled and then For the Windlands thing, I think I'm just gonna be creating a line renderer from the controller to the target, which means I'm gonna be generating a target attachment point, and then we're gonna be dragging the player in that direction using physics. And that's pretty much it. It's gonna act like a grappling hook, you know, the just cause kind of thing. Well, Windlands, you know, that says a lot. So let's create a scenario that we can work with. So let's add just a cube. You know, cubes are nice. I like cubes. Cubes are quite neat. So 2 by 2 by 2, because it's gonna have to be a big cube. Let's have a look. Let's place it here for the time being. Another interesting thing that will pop up later on, and I anticipate already, is what we're gonna be doing with the game itself. Because I thought about it, and I was looking at some Spyro retro reviews earlier on, and you know, making this a collectathon wouldn't be bad. So let's start by adding a tag. Tab is gonna be grapple. Yay! We made a tag. Wish I had an editor, you know, like make the video snappy and shit, but not really. So let's get into the code, and there's a couple of things that I want to change first. First one being that I don't want the player to rocket while in the air, and at the same time I wouldn't want the player to rocket in general, and I don't want to have the rocket code in the player object in general. So I'm gonna have to change a bunch of things. Refactoring, yay! I'm actually gonna just take this away, right? Yes. Well, I know I'm gonna be needing the rigid body. This is Control X, by the way. I'm not getting rid of that code. So let's make a getter for a rigid body. Let's make a getter for this rigid body, which is gonna return our RB. Now let's also make a new class, and this is gonna be our device, grappling device. Our grapple device is gonna be our controller. It's gonna take the orientation from there, yada yada yada, and then react. I'm guessing just to the click at the moment. You know, I don't wanna do complicated stuff. The problem I have as well is that I am gonna have to scoot around with my hands because the microphone is literally in front of me, just between me and the keyboard. It's not great, but at least I hope it can be heard pretty good. So I'm gonna have oh yeah, it's still in the miscellaneous files, because why not, right? Why not? Grapple device now. And fix update. It's just gonna go back here. Any problems? Yes, of course. Of course. The controller is gonna be the game object I attack this to, so I actually don't want to do this. I want to refactor all of this. Ctrl RR. I cannot, of course. Transform that forward, right? Boost fuel. This is on the player. So what I want to have is I want to have a reference to the player as well. Player, right? Of course, we'll start with start. Why did you delete start? Because, you know, reasons. So player is gonna be a find object of type player. Et voila, And then I'm gonna have to go in here, and this is gonna be my player dot booster fuel, and bam, boost power. Oh, bum 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 bum. I didn't put the dot. It's already a success, guys. Or girls. What's your problem? Oh, protection level. Ah, yeah, because I don't need that. Well, you know what? I'll make it public, but I'll hide it from the hierarchy so that it's not gonna get, you know, in the way. Now, damn it, messages. I don't want to check messages. Let's actually have a public bool that is gonna go for the method of transportation at the moment, right? So no. I've had a different idea. Let's make an enum. Make an enum that is gonna be locomotion mode. And it's gonna be either jetpack or it's gonna be grapple. Then I'm gonna have a public transportation mode, locomotion mode. And it's gonna be starting at grapple. Always make your enums public, guys. It helps a lot, and it's also outside of the class because I want to have the locomotion mode being accessible by everybody. Because it's probably going to be changed by either the player or the persistent data objects, depending on, you know, maybe a cutscene or whatever happens. The player definitely, because I'm going to be making the check about the player being on the ground, based on the whether or not, you know, I'm on the ground. And I may want to change that as well. I might want to add a movement option with just touching the touchpad and then click into jump like normally, and that would make it completely just windlands. Not that at the moment is something different, like it doesn't really matter. Oh, look at that, somebody's playing PlayerUnknown. I might have started this tutorial series with the wrong nomenclature, but back to it. So here I'm gonna have a different solution. I'm gonna switch on the locomotion mode here. Switch on the movement mode. Case by case basis. Case. Jetpack. And then case grapple. Oh, no, this is good. This is not. Okay. Of course, here I'm gonna be replenishing the booster fuel regardless, because it doesn't matter, right? So here on the grapple, I want to add something else. I want to add a reference to a direction vector. The direction vector is gonna be what we use to send out, let's say, a laser pointer to check where you're grappling. We could not do that because Daydream already offers a targeting reticle for the with the controller, but I like adding my personal stuff on top of it. It's not necessarily too complicated, it's just a thing, right? So I'm gonna have it here, and it's gonna be a public game object direction vector. Now there's gonna be a jump cut because I need to see that message now. And back. Okay, good. So I've just, you know. So back to here. There's the first jump cut of the whole series. 3 videos in. Oh my god. I'm not good at this recording video stuff. Like I'm better when there's a script. So let's make that direction vector. So here we want to get the controller object, so we're gonna drag in our player and tinker around with it for a second. Boom, boom. GVR controller pointer. That's the controller visual, which, by the way, is a good moment to remove the thing that makes it, you know, go, oh, you know, oh, what's it called? Player visual reference? No. No, that's not at all. That gets disabled. The controller pointer's got a thing where you put it up and it just goes like, oh, okay, I can see the controls or whatever. I wonder what it is. So I'm sure it's there somewhere. Damn. Damn indeed. I don't remember removing it. I'm sure I didn't. Well, you know what? I can't find it. I can't find it. Well, let's go into the controller visual. Ah, wait. Ah, there you go. Tooltip. You, sir, go die in a fire. Apply. Okay, I don't want any tooltips at the moment. I'm gonna have them later on, maybe. Touchpad color. Wait, we can actually, you know, have some fun with this. Yellowish. That's it. Let's start adding the thing that we just made. The grappling device. So this controller visual, I want to rename this to controller, just so we know. Grapple device, you go here, movement noise, grapple. Let's set this to jetpack, apply, and remove the player from here, right? I want to be able to see that I can just jump back in, so let's press play. It's gonna do the whole, hey, you need to configure the controller. I've already done this beforehand this time though, so it should just flawlessly work. It does, it does, it does. Okay, there's no tooltips, and I can just do nothing. No reference exception. Oh, the rigid body. Right. RB equals player. Oh, get rigid body. Compiling. Compiling. Okay. Here we go. Aha. Aha. And fly. There we go, and die. Good stuff. Okay, that's great. That's great. We have everything working as we want it at the moment. Let's get into the making of the grappling hook mechanics. So at the controller, we're gonna create an empty object here, and I'm gonna move it just a bit on the top of the controller. Hey, hello. Just at the top of the controller. That'll do. The forward direction of this is what we're gonna be using, which is the same of the controller, of course. It's just a matter of I want an attach point. So direction vector game object. My good direction vector game object goes into here, not here. Let's also add a line renderer. Our line renderer, it's gonna be a relative relative space line renderer, and it's gonna be way smaller. So start with 0.1, 0.01, yeah, that'll do. And it's gonna start from the direction vector, so never mind. Copy component, remove component. Hey, how you doing? This component is new. Damn, you look tight, boy. Okay. And well, actually I have to make it word space. But let's keep it at that for a second, because what I want to do is I want to customize this just a bit. So let's go into our materials and create a material. Surprising. This is gonna be our laser guy. Now this is gonna be our rope. This is going to be our rope. It's gonna be a line. What do you know? I want it to be a mobile lit, but I don't have a texture for it. So who knows? Who knows? Let's actually put this here. Where's my materials? Here we go. Rope material. Damn, you look fine, boy. So back to the rope material. I don't know, stuff like this. This looks nice, right? I mean, there's worse. Can I just have a diffuse material? No. Particles. Particles gives me a way to, oh no, not additive. Alpha blended. Yeah, why not? It's gonna be unlit for the moment, right? It doesn't really matter. It doesn't. It's not distracting, right? Right. Good. Glad you agree. Right. So. Oh. Back here. We have our grapple device, and we want to have a direction vector. Our direction vector is already there, so I can get a reference to our line renderer. I'm actually gonna be calling it rope visual. I also want to create an attach point. So here, let's actually create a sphere. Point 1, it's a bit too big. 0.02, 0.02, 0.02. That's roughly alright. Right at the tip of that, there's gonna be this, and this sphere is gonna be called F2 to edit our target visual. There you go, and you're gonna become a prefab, my good sir. Look at you, so cute. And just for shits and giggles, I'm gonna be using the same material that we have for our rope. I was looking fancy. Here, looking fancy. Done it again. Right, my rope visual, and I want to have a public game object target visual prefab, and of course I'm gonna have a private game object target visual. Now, what we want to do is we want to be instantiating that. So here, if I grapple, what to happen is, okay, I click the button, and that is good. I need to check for intersections. Another thing that we need to make sure of is that our controller has a rigid body component to it. Because what happens is that you can't make physics calculations if there's no rigid body on the object that you're using to calculate physics. Like ray casts, sphere casts, and all that jazz. It's gonna be a kinematic rigid body because we don't need to have it be in the calculations. It just needs to have a rigid body. So let's create a raycast it, and it's physics.raycast, and we're gonna be raycasting from the direction vector in the forward direction of the direction vector. Of course that's need to be a transparent position. This is gonna be a forward vector, and this is gonna be out hit. Now I'm gonna be making some changes to that later on because I want to add final. Well, actually, you know what? I can add 30 meters. That's my max distance, but you know what? Let's actually make it here. Max grapple distance, and we start at 30. Oh damn, what did I do? So this is gonna be our max grapple distance. There we go. So we're gonna be shooting a raycast there. If I do attach to something, time to spawn the target visual. So the way I want to do this is I want to be able to make sure that there isn't any target visual, and no first. So no, you know what, that's fine. So target visual is equal to instantiate the target visual prefab a hit.point with a quaternion dot identity, because of course I don't care which way it's rotating or looking. That's good. Now another thing I want to do is that I'm gonna refactor this completely. This is better because I want to be able to decide what happens based on what I'm doing, right? So here I want to have that as well, and that is good. But I also want to have a section for the rest. So first, handle input is gonna be here, and also gonna be here. Set up the target visual. That's pretty much it. I wanna enable the rope visual as well, and then I want to set up my rope, but I'll do that in my update. So we already are in fixed update, so that's good. But on start, I want to disable my rope immediately. So I disable my rope on start, then whatever happens here in movement mode and jetpack, that's fine. Actually, let's close this down. Can I close the case statement? No, It's a bummer. Okay, fair enough. I'm not too sharp today. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm really not too sharp. So I hit something. I need to check that I hit a collider that is grappleable. So if there is a raycast and that's going well, I need to make sure that hit.tag collider.tag is equal to grapple. If not, everything is unnecessary. And if it is, of course, I enable the rope and I create my target. Now here, handle grappling. What I'm gonna be doing here is, if there is a target, then I wanna be going in that direction. I'm gonna be in the target's direction. And I'm gonna have another float here. For the grapple strength. I don't need to initialize now. Although I could easily initialize it, it's just I have no idea what it's gonna be. Because of course I never remember these things. I deal with this stuff every day and still every time it gets me. I just have no idea if it's in newtons or whatever. It's a force, so it would be in newtons, but fuck me if I can make that conversion in real life. Like, how many newtons does it take to lift a mass of whatever? I don't know, don't remember. I was never too good in physics, which is quite ironic if you think about it. If the target is not null, we add force, and the force is gonna be our direction. So let's calculate the direction. Vector 3 there is equal to. So the way you want to calculate vectors in Unity or in general is to get direction from point A to point B. You get point B minus point A, right? So this is a position vector, this is a position vector, this minus this is a vector that goes in this direction. It's here now the other way around. So get the target visual.transfer.position minus point A, which is our direction vector dot transfer dot position. Now we want this to be normalized, of course. If not, it's gonna be diminishing whenever we get closer, which is not a bad thing. But if we have to make it diminish so that it's, you know, very strong here and not too strong here, so that means that, you know, maybe you go down and then it's a bit more like a Spider-Man rope instead of just a grappling hook. If we do that, I want to have that mapped to a curve. I want to be able to decide from maximum length to minimum length what's the actual influence of this diminishing power. So we're not going to be doing that now. That's your problem. Ooh, when do I use there? An enclosing scope? Because the name is used in an enclosing local scope to define a local or yeah, okay, I forgot about that. So the problem is that this is a switch statement and you can't declare variables in it. Oh no, you can, it's just here. Okay. Grapple there, be happy please. Okay, we had the force in the direction of grapple there, and of course we multiply by the grapple strength, and this is gonna be a force mode dot acceleration, because I want to be ignoring the mass of the rigid body that we're using. It makes it a bit more consistent, plus we don't really need to have mass we don't have any way to transport heavy objects. Like in Dr. Dad, you can grapple to something, and you can grapple like to the ceiling, and then you can grapple to a massive box, and then the two masses, of course, interact with each other, so it makes it wonky and it's funny. But here we have a single controller, so there's no way to grab other stuff, and if there is, we can come back to it later on. But there's just the reasoning behind it, behind the acceleration. So that's good. I also want to have in the input, if GVR controller input dot release the button. So click button up. Oh, there's a click button down. That's good, because that would have been quite funny. So click button up, I wanna remove the target. So if target visual is not equal to null, so if we have a visual, we destroy it. Target visual, the game object. Well, it's already a game object. And then we set target visual to null. This is pretty important, of course, because if it's null, this is not going to happen. If it's not, well, we move. And that should be pretty much it, if you think about it, right? Just need to set up a couple of variables and see what happens, but I reckon we're there. It didn't take long. It doesn't take long to make this kind of things. Target visual prefab, of course, we're gonna drag this here. And the grapple strength, I'll start with 10 and see how it goes, and then increase it or decrease it based on, surprise surprise, how it goes. So let's actually go in full screen here because it's funny. Let's have a look. Now we want to be able to grapple to that, so let's get our reticle pointer. This already isn't working. Great. But we are grappled. 10 seems to be a decent enough, like, oh, never mind. I don't know what happened. Okay, let's have a look. Right, let's have a look. First of all, what's the problem with the line renderer? Done it again. Because here, we get the player. Oh, I have not cached the line renderer. Rope visual is equal to get component line renderer. Thanks a bunch. Yeah, fair dues, fair dues. I'm not happy with that though. I'm not happy with the fact that the reticle pointer works like that. Tell you what, since we know it's 30 meters, right? First of all, no hybrid. This is gonna have to be direct. Right, direct means that it's only taking the controller's input, not the gaze. You can set it to camera to get only the gaze, or hybrid to switch between the two, which, cool. But what I want to have here is a longer laser, so not 1 but 30. Hey, 30. Never mind then. Okay, let's have a look at that, how this works. Why would my plate? No. 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 This is incorrect. I'm good at my job, I swear. Like, I'm really good. I know what I'm doing. Right? Okay. Bye. Also, that's a lie. There is definitely a controller attached to that. Okay, wait. It's just going into controller. Oh no, it's right. It's right. It's right. It's right. Well, there's a few things that we know now. First of all, that's way too strong because it immediately goes into an error after this. No, it doesn't. So get component in children. In children, line renderer. And I also want to set up the line renderer, of course. Okay, so here, rope visual dot set position. Position 0, which is the start, it's gonna go into the direction vector dot transform dot position. Coincidentally, position 1, it's gonna go into the target visual transfer dot position. And I need to remember to set up the target visual to use word space, because if not, it's just gonna go away. Word space coordinates are the ones that we were using for the vectors regardless. I need to make this active again and apply. Almost there. Although, you know what I want to do as well is on the controller here. No, it doesn't matter now. It doesn't matter now. You know, I want to have a laser pointer again because I want to see what I'm doing, where I'm pointing. But this is gonna be okay enough. Like the one you have here, it's okay. Plus 30 is way too much anyways. So there you go. Why though? Why? Ctrl Shift P. Oh, never mind. Just Ctrl P. What I want to do is I want to be able to see. Where is my target? I don't have a target. It's bad. Why would I not have a target? Keep on doing that. I instantiate my target visual on the raycast. If I click the button up, so it says, stop pressing down the click button. It's guaranteed to be preceded by exactly one click button event. In order to frame also click button and click button would never both be true at the same time. Well, good. To use it, start pressing down the click button. However, click button also guaranteed to be followed by exactly one click button in every frame. I'm not sure. Click button up destroys the target visual. I guess everybody's been screaming for a while, but I'm an idiot, so let's set this to grapple. Right, good stuff. Yeah. No need to say anything. It's okay. So let's attach to that bad boy up there. There you go. That's okay. Okay. What's the problem? That's a grapple. It's a box collider. It's not a trigger. So I should be able to. Oh, there you go. That's good. Let's play around with the strength. Let's give it 20. 20 is too much. 15. $15 seems to be alright. Yeah, 15 seems to be quite a sweet spot. I like that. I like that. That's okay. Yeah, we can tinker around with it later on, but 15 seems to be alright. Also, the line renderer, does this get? No, that's okay. Cool. That's good. That's very good. So let's get here, and of course, when you click the button up, what you want to do is the raw visual needs to be disabled as well. That's a good start. I mean, to be fair, almost like a good end already, because that's it. That's WinLens in a nutshell. There's many more things that we can do to make it more tight, like for example adding two-state gravity. The way it works is that I've seen a very good video actually on the juiciness of platformers and how to add a lot of depth and character to platformers via an analysis of what Nintendo did with Super Mario Bros, which was in Super Mario, the titular character takes around 15 frames to get to the peak of the jump, and then takes something like 10 or 11 to get back down, and that's because the gravity gets enhanced once the player starts moving down. We can check that with the velocity of the rigid body on the y-axis to check whether or not it's positive, and then add a bit more to the gravity. This adds a lot to the weight of the character, so you're not a floaty character anymore. You're just doing, you got weight, so you struggle to go up, but then you go down really fast. This is really good. We have that in Dr. Dad. We had that from the beginning, because the previous project we had on Project Swing, we didn't have that, and it felt very, very floaty, while Dr. Dad now feels very grounded in reality, let's say. So we might add that as well, but I don't see a point now, because the mechanics of this aren't really the same. So let's see what we can do though, right? Let's see what we can do. I would like to add a jumping method, because I want to have a platform in which you can move around, jump, and then attach to things. It feels like it would be nice. And after that, I want to think a bit about what we can do with it. So what's going to be the actual game that we're going to be making. So let's start by adding ground movement, ground jetpack, and grapple. So in ground, I would like to say that my presentation skills are going to be improving, but it would probably be a lie. I'm not good at this. It makes it a bit harder to concentrate on the code as well, so as you definitely have seen, the code is not the best thing that you can find, and there's a lot of times where I just forget things, but hey, we're all learning here. I'm learning to teach, and you're learning the shit I'm doing, so that's good. It's a win-win. There we go. Seal of approval. So when I'm on the ground, I want to have a way to move around with the touchpad. So let's actually cache the touchpad. This is going to be a vector to touch, and this is going to be equal to GVR input controller input dot touch position So how does this work? Because I think that I want to be able to touch in the touchpad but not clicking. Yeah. If not touching, this is the position of the last touch, so we need to make sure that we're touching as well. So if GVR controller input dot is touching, so if we're touching the controller, we cache the touch. Also, there's a washing machine going on. You're welcome. And then I want to be able to remap this, of course. So vector 2, so this is a vector 3, that position x, it's gonna be on the x and it's gonna be on the z as well. So we remap this to a vector 3. What are we doing with this vector 3? We wanna add a force and then cap the player velocity on the ground. Do I wanna constantly accelerate? I wanna set the velocity. There you go. There you go. Yes. Yes, that's great, because we're gonna be keeping momentum. That's great, okay. So our velocity is gonna be our ground speed by the normalized direction, right? That's already normalized for us, so it's pretty good. So let's go into here, grapple distance, grapple strength. This is gonna be our grapple, of course. Direction, vector, top, feet. Well, then we're gonna have our ground, and in ground we're gonna have public, float, speed, and then public, float, jump, height. Right, that's good. Okay, so if I'm here, what I want to do is my rigid body velocity is gonna have to be the touch. I don't want to alter the vertical velocity, not because we're gonna have any, but I want to be able to jump, so I don't know if it's gonna interfere, so just to be sure I'm gonna go with rb.velocity.y. Velocity is gonna be touch normalized. No, it's already normalized. It's gonna have to be multiplied by our speed. There we go. Good. And then, of course, I want to be able to jump. So, if I am clicking, I want to set that, but not rigid body. Y is going to be jumping. 0. And then it's gonna be mrb is equal to touch multiplied by vector 3.up multiplied, adding vector 3.up multiplied by our jumping height. Well, jumping strength would be better. It's okay, I know. Oh. Oh. Control copy. What's the problem? Now, this is vector 320 engine rigid body, of course, because this is going to be that dot velocity. Good. That's good. So, that's fine. What I want to do now is I want to be able to do a couple of things. First, when you move on the ground, I want to be able to literally just move around and jump. Then, while I'm jumping, I want to separate the control scheme. I want to have the front part of the controller being the grapple and the rear part of the controller being the jetpack. So let's make that change immediately, right? So let's actually move this away. Instead of jetpack and grapple, I want to have ground and air control. Yeah, that makes sense, right? Ground. Yeah, that makes sense. There's air, and here let's actually go away. Oh, and go away. So when you click the button, GVR.controller. Oh, GVR controller input dot touch position dot y is less than 0.5f. Actually, what does this return? Let's have a look. I don't remember. Vector 3 at 0 0. Oh, okay, so 0 0 is 0.5, 0.5 is it? Okay, so bottom is 1. So if this is larger than 0.5, it's in the bottom, so I should be rocket boosting. Else that's fine. Good. If I am, on the other hand, there, this should be the case. So if I'm clicking up, so click down the pad, boost, click up, rope. Good stuff. And this is still fine, like I want to be able to do this kind of things. Click button up. In general, I want it to destroy the rope, of course. Oh, you know what? I still need this. I still need this. This is a click button. So this is good. I need to take this out. I need to take this out. So it's a different situation. The click button, of course, is not what I want. I want to have a click button down. So here, if I'm not clicking, then of course do that. Then click up, rope. That's good. And of course I want to be able to see if I am doing that stuff. So if I click button down and the touch is on the other side, so lesser or equal 0.5, so I'm clicking up, then create that stuff. That is good. That is good. It's looking fine. It's looking fine. Now I need a way to change the locomotion. So let's go into the player and make a look at a couple of things. The easiest way to do this, of course, is to add a collider at the base of the player that we check constantly to see if we're grounded. So can I just do that? I'm just gonna do that. That's our good boy here. Who's a good boy? You're a good boy. Let's add a sphere collider because they're the most performant colliders that you can have. Add the collider and put it down. Damn it. Collider. Okay, you know what? No. You've been a bad collider. Bad collider. There you go. That's it. That's us. Right? Minus 1.4. Because I like numbers like this. And you're gonna be a trigger. And the way it's gonna go is that now I can get all the colliders attached to a rigid body. I know that the second one from the top is gonna be that. Or I can just gather a sphere collider, right? I'm actually just gonna do that. Private sphere collider. And this is our ground check. Boop. Do you want everything to be grappleable? You can go around? Yes? No? Because I need to have a tag for the ground. I need to make a check against collisions in there. I can't imagine. the ground would be grappleable. I think everything should be grappleable, right? It's just funnier like that. I think it is. Also, I don't think I need to make these checks because since we have collider, I can go on trigger, enter, if other dot tag is equal to grapple. We are grounded, my boy, so let's get a reference to our controller. Grapple device. No, actually, private pool is grounded, and then public pool is grounded. Now this is going to be returning is grounded, of course, right? So if the other is grappled, is grounded is equal to true, and then the same it's gonna be on trigger exit. On trigger exit, I'd say that now we do the same. If other dot tag equal grapple, then is grounded is equal to false. And then on our grapple device here, I'd say we have just a general update. Actually, you know what? This can go in the player. The grapple device doesn't need to cap velocity, so let's go here. Fix update. That's good. Okay, we have the cap velocity here. Then we get the rigid body, the getters and setters. I like to have them all in the same place. No particular reason. I just, you know, organization, I guess. I can just wrap them into regions, but it doesn't really matter. So that's good. Before we go and test it, we need to make sure that the grapple device can always make the right decision for the movement mode. Alright, this is a very rudimental state machine. So I'm gonna go with if player is grounded, then our locomotion movement mode, sorry, is equal to ground, else the movement mode is gonna be equal to air. Hey, look at that! That's great. It's amazing. Now in our player, of course, we don't need to do anything. It's fine. Okay. Seems like we're in for a good, funny ride. Let's make this happen. So first of all, I'm gonna expand this to be significantly bigger. Damn. Right? Significantly bigger. Because what I want to do is I want to add another one of these. I want to make each and every one of them grappleable. Then I want to add another cube. This one is gonna be my starting point for the player. I want to be able to move around, grapple, and do that kind of stuff. So 20, 20, and 10. Look at that. That's great. Okay, so let's give this a try. Let's go into an over-the-top camera so I kind of see what I'm doing, and let's sprinkle more cubes here and there. Copy those, get the center, duplicate, duplicate, and up them up, duplicate and put them up, down and hey, that seems great. Although these done really good there. Whatever, it doesn't really matter, right? It's just a matter of like seeing if it works. So hover at camera, ready, set, action. Oh, no, the player doesn't have any speed. There's a couple of problems here. Because of course the player needs to not be there at all. Although I need to set the speed in the controller. Speed is gonna be 2. Jump strength is gonna be 2. I don't know. I'll see. Right, we can change it. No problem. We don't want to make the player too fast. Because if it's too fast, people can motion sick, and I mean, not that I'm not planning to make people motion sick. Let's be realistic, right? This is that kind of game. But let's get into the player. Where's my controller? There you go. Okay, I'm moving extremely slow. Jumping possibly even slower. Huh. Oh, what's my ground movement? So my player, is he grounded? Of course I would make it. Damn it. That made it a private variable, of course. Yeah, made it both times a private variable. What's happening with this? Can't really move. So let's go into the controller and ump up this to 10. Oh, this is not grappleable. Of course. I'm not quite sure. I seem to be able to grapple. Or it should not be. I can boost. So I am in the air for reasons. Let's first make this grappleable. This would probably help. That's good. That's good. That's good. Because I need to map that to the forward thing. Okay, that's good, that's good. That's a good speed actually. But I think that we're gonna have to have a different setup. So speed is good. Oh no, nah. Damn it. Okay. Speed is good, jump is not. Let's make jump 5 and test it again. Oh, that's really annoying. So, okay, jump. The jump is good. I like the jump a lot. Okay, back to us. Here, how do I map it? I know, okay. So, on the grapple device, we have our touch, and that's good. But what I want to do is I want to map the touch position, Y, to our vector 3 forward. So this is gonna be where we look. Yeah, where we look, not where we go. Or is it where we go? So would it be better if we have the direction dictated by where we're looking? So I'm looking there and pressing forward. Or would it be better to just be able to move independently from where you're looking? I think the second one would be better. Maybe a bit confusing in the beginning, but you can then enjoy a stroll like looking around and going in the direction without having to remap things. Makes sense. It makes sense to me. Yeah. So we're gonna have our direction vector dot transform dot forward multiplied by this, which is between 1 and -1, of course. The forward is already normalized, and I'm gonna multiply this by speed. Sorry, why not? Declare but never used. I am trying. Fuck it, what's your problem? Before it's declared. You what? Huh. I hate you. Okay, and that's our forward. Then we're gonna have plus our right. So direction vector dot right transform dot right multiplied by control touch position dot x, again between -1 and 1, multiplied by speed. The only problem here is that y goes from 0 to 1, so we have to invert it, right? And to invert it, we just multiply by -1. That's very, very simple. So that should be okay. It allows us to move around ideally according to where we're pointing our controller. But of course, there's compiler issues. Yeah. I don't really care about touch anymore. This is going to be relative to where our controller is pointing, so we're going to have something that we can point at and go and jump and do all that fancy stuff. So go left, goes back, that is interesting. It's very interesting. My velocity is equal to transfer.forward by a touch position y. Again, let's see. 0, 0 is top left, 1, 1 is bottom right. So, you know. So let's go. Transfer.forward multiplied by a touch position of y, inverted, multiplied by speed, plus oh, I see. We have a bit of a conundrum. The controller.right, the direction vector right, rotates constantly. So the right direction just rotates with it. How can we solve this? We need to zero out the rotations. We can project this to a plane. But does that mean that if I'm standing perfectly flat, then I get to go where I want? Because that would be ideal. say the least. So this is it, perfectly flat. That's my controller pointer. Let's go into the controller and have a look at what's... no. Ah, damn it. It's always like that, isn't it? Right. This is perfectly flat, so right. Left still goes right. And backwards. Forward goes right. Back goes back, so that's good. I know what's going on. Okay, so we're going between 0 and 1. We're not going between -1 and 1. So that's already something we need to rectify, because we're always going to be going back left to different degrees. Back right, sorry. So let's actually remap this vector. So float horizontal is equal to this third position -1 multiplied by -1, which gives us a direction between -1 and 0. Which should have propelled us forward. So let's actually get this position of y, right? This is between 0 and 1, right? Then we take away 0.5 and then we multiply it by 2. So this gives us between -1 and 1, with 0 being the center. And we do the same for vertical. Of course, this is vertical. And this is our x, between -1 and 1 now. So this is gonna be forward multiplied by vertical, and this is gonna be right multiplied by horizontal. That should be okay. Sounds about right. Probably isn't. Spoiler alert, I was never good at math either, so yeah, you're a steel keg. That's what it's saying to me. Right, so let's go left, right, back, and up. Okay, that's great, because as intended, you know, this has to be reversed. So vertical has to be reversed. Oh. And that allows us to move in every direction we want. That is quite neat if you ask me, and there's nobody else you can ask, so there you go. Get schooled, boys. Okay, so if I go left, then I turn around, I go left. Okay, this is mapped to where we're pointing, and I can jump as well. And if I jump and then use the down part, I can boost, and then I can grapple. That is great. So I can grapple and then boost, jump and boost. I should be dead. Why am I not dead? So that's another interesting thing. Does this not have a box collider? It does. Is my capture trigger as well? Bum 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 bum. I don't remember these things. No. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. The ground should kill me. Oh no, I have a death zone, which I'm just outside. That's great. Okay, let's expand the death zone as well before we get into this kind of things. Scale up. Sounds about right. That's good. Okay, so you know what I'm gonna be doing is we've been going on for a while, so I'll end here. We'll take it off from here next time, where we are gonna be implementing some more gaming mechanics, maybe, you know, collecting something, or get into a goal, or whatever. We'll see, right? Maybe adding some narration. Nah, probably not. Yeah, that's pretty much it. We're gonna be adding some more gamey stuff, because this is all mechanics, but I want to build a game around this. So there's probably gonna be some Reddit posts I'm gonna be spamming around to get some feedback on whether or not we should make this a kind of game or another. And then I will probably also read the comments if there's any. So there we go, that was us, and thank you very much for tuning in this time as well, and see you next time.